FedEx Forum and the American Home Shield Studio. This is The Odds Couple on GrindCityMedia.com. Handicapping all the football action, here's Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Hello, good people. What's up? I am not Rob Fisher. I'm Lang Whitaker, and I'm here in the studio for the Odds Couple here on Grind City Media. I am joined this week by my good friend John Roser. John, how are you, sir?
Wonderful, man. Wonderful. A little sad. College football's over now.
But a little heavier in the wallet, I would assume.
Oh, man, I think we are all heavier in the wallet after Monday night. But we still got a bunch of NFL action to go.
We'll get to that in a minute. CJ, how are you, sir?
What's going on? I'm good. How's everybody doing? It's great to be here.
It is great to be here. We're missing our good friend who I believe is at the Grind City Resort and Casino, Rob Fisher. Rob, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. I even decorated with my own stuff here at the resort. So they allowed me to do that just to make me feel at home.
Rob is lying. Rob is actually in Abu Dhabi on UFC's Fight Island.
Oh,
that's where he is, on Fight Island this weekend. Today.
It's a good place to spend time, it seems like. Well, welcome back to the Odds Couple, a.k.a. the week Lang actually has to do some work and prepare. I can't just roll in here and sit over here and make jokes for the whole show.
I can.
Yeah, but Rosa can do that. What did we learn this week? That's how we usually start this thing. Let's start with that. You know what I think I learned? I'll start. I think I learned that Nick Saban might be the greatest college coach ever.
I mean, what, him and John Wooden?
Bear Bryant's in there?
Bear Bryant is in there. Devontae Smith, I think, is the greatest college wide receiver I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I think I learned that.
How much of that do we think Devontae Smith was incredible in the national championship game? What he had 215 yards, something like that, and
12 catches, 3 touchdowns, and a half.
How much of that do you think was just also like Ohio State completely getting pantsed on their schemes and just not knowing what to do and putting linebackers on him?
I mean, Sarkisian's play calling was unbelievable. He did everything he could to get him open. They put him in motion, everything, and he was fantastic. But no, I think when you have to just look at the whole season he's the focal point you try to stop, and nobody was able to stop him all season long.
Alabama's just not fair. After the game, I got curious. Like, okay, how much NFL talent is on this roster? Seven positions, top 5 players.
Yeah.
And most of them top 3. When you think about quarterback, receiver, they got 2 receivers, top 5 prospects at their position that going in the NFL draft. Right tackle's got a top 5. Defensive tackle, linebacker, cornerback, safety, they are loaded. It is not fair what they've got. And then they just keep bringing dudes in.
Mac Jones, Najee Harris, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Alex Leatherwood, and Patrick Surtain for sure are going to be first-round picks. Those are for sure first-round picks.
We'll get to Alabama a little bit more later. Rob, we've talked a lot this year about who are the top 3 teams, 4 teams. Do we know? Are we sure Alabama, Ohio State are 1 and 2, and then who's 3, who's 4 this year?
I guess we're sure. I mean, I was thinking about it this week of, if we had the different matchups. If Alabama had Clemson in the first round, Ohio State played Notre Dame, would we have had the same matchup? Or if, Alabama played Ohio State in the first game and Clemson played Notre Dame, would it have been Alabama-Clemson? I think Alabama really far and away one team, and the reason I didn't make it very clear last week that I loved Alabama. I just made the point that when I bet it, I was going to bet Alabama, which I did, so it turned out fine for me. But the thing that I see with Alabama is just every week they were dominant. Ohio State had one real dominant game, but Alabama did it every single week. To never trail in the second half of a 10-game SEC schedule and then a playoff schedule, or 11 games SEC actually, and then the 2 playoff games. That's an unbelievable stat. That is just complete dominance, and it's not like you're, Boise State and you're just better than everybody in your conference. You're Alabama and you're that much better than everybody in your conference. They're number 1 clearly. I guess I'd still give the nod to Ohio State because I thought Clemson was the second best team in the country, and Ohio State annihilated them. So I'll go with Clemson number 2, or with Ohio State number 2, and then number 3 and 4. I guess it's Clemson and Notre Dame. I guess.
Oh, come on! You're not going to say Texas A&M, Rob? That's been your team all year. Thought you were going to say Texas A&M's the third best team in the country.
Jimbo Jr.
But every time I mention Texas A&M, I always mentioned it with a question mark, like Texas A&M. So, I mean, even if I were to put them at 4, I'd say Texas A&M at 4. I think the 4 teams were right, and I think. Yeah, I guess I would say Ohio State's the second best team, but a lot closer to Clemson, Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if Clemson would have given Alabama a better game in the championship game. We'll get more on that later. The other thing I think we learned this week, our friend C.J. Hurt is a champion. We had the final results of the Grind City Media Pick'em Pool.
Oh, yeah.
Number 1, C.J. Hurt, 75-46 against the spread.
Number 1, 75. You heard that, right? I'm the champ. This is Champion's Corner. Mike Wallace congratulated me earlier, way too soon, before bowl season. And we renamed this when I'm in here, Champion's Corner. So welcome to the corner.
Well, I finished third, 68-53. Rob finished tied for 8th, 62-59. And Roser finished.
You guys should look at my DraftKings account. I don't give a damn what that thing says. My DraftKings account tells me how well I did this season.
That's the only account that matters.
That's the only account that matters.
Well, and I believe it was Roser last week who said, "I wish I would just pick the games on the show that I actually bet."
I think that is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot less games to pick now. We can talk about it again a little bit. Alabama rolled in the title game against Ohio State. The Crimson Tide won 52-24. Not only covered 7.5, did it pretty easily. A lot of us got some free GCUs out of that game. Mac Jones, 464 yards, 5 touchdowns. Devontae Smith, 12 catches, 250 yards, 3 TDs. Didn't even play half the game. Alabama had 2 guys playing in this game with 1 leg and didn't miss a beat. They were fine. Nick Saban tells us about winning the national title.
Well, I think perseverance probably is the one word that describes this team the best in terms of what they've had to overcome all season long to go undefeated and win a championship. I'm really so proud of these guys. You know, this is a team that was always together. Everybody bought into all the principles and values of the organization and the program, and they just did a great job. They played together. They supported each other. This is a great team. So, look, this is great for our fans. It's great for the University of Alabama. We've got great support here. I'm just so happy for these players. I wanted to win this game for these players because this game was all about what they've done all year long. And I'm just so happy for our team and our players.
It's about the most animated I think I've ever heard Nick Saban. I was thinking about it this week. If they make the movie one day, Saban or whatever you want to call it, William H. Macy has to be Nick Saban, don't you think?
I mean,
is he still going to be around?
I mean, I don't know.
like because Nick Saban shows no signs of slowing down at all.
He's 70 years old. I was looking that up too. He's 70, and I mean, he could probably do this another 5 years, 10 years,
20, 25, 30, maybe.
For what it's worth, next season, Alabama has the highest rated recruiting class since they've started rating recruiting classes.
Yes,
coming in next year.
Yeah, so they have 7 5-star recruits coming in next year.
They ain't going to stop. They're just going to continue, it looks like. So
it's not fair. I mean, that is crazy.
Yeah.
And you know, I've said it a few times. It was, I don't know, maybe 4 years ago, around that time when Alabama had won a championship. And about week 7 of that year, Nick Saban started getting emotional when he talked about the team and how much he loved the guys and how much he loved this team. And he'd go on and on and on and on and on about it, to the point where it kind of sounded like a coach that was ready to retire. And he even talked about it after the national championship, and you thought, maybe he's having thoughts about it. But since then, I've seen nothing to give me any inkling that he is even close to retiring. And I thought his answer to Scott Van Pelt after the game, when they were talking, you know, Van Pelt asked him, what keeps driving you? What makes you want to come back? What makes you want to keep doing this when you've won so much? And he said, because I always think of the 2 losses that I had and how much he hates losing. And that's what drives him. And when you're getting the greatest recruiting class of all time, I mean, when do you stop? When you're on top?
Well, he passed Bear Bryant for his 7th national championship.
Yeah.
Bear Bryant had 6. He's on top. Like, I don't know where
Who's
we go.
close?
Well, he had what? He's won 6 national championships in 12 years. The only other program that has ever been able to win 6 national championships within 25 years was also Alabama when Bear Bryant did it. So, I mean, you're also looking at the greatest coach of all time at what has been the greatest college football program of all
I
time.
wrote about it this week on grindcitymedia.com. Like, my grandfather grew up a couple hours from Tuscaloosa, just south of Birmingham. Huge Alabama fan. And when I was a kid, there was a picture of Bear Bryant on his refrigerator. And I remember thinking, at the time, I was like, who puts a picture of a coach on your refrigerator, right? Like, if you're a sports fan, you're a fan of the players, you're a fan of the whatever. But college football is such a transient sport by nature, right? The guys are only there 3 years, at the 4 years maybe. So Bear Bryant was the thing there, and it's become the same thing again. Like, this is why people in Alabama lionize Nick Saban. He's the process.
Yeah.
He's the program. And as long as he's there, I don't think anything's changing.
So they both have statues.
Yes.
They both have statues outside that stadium. When is it going to become Bryant Denny Saban Stadium?
They might have to name it like Saban Field.
Saban Field,
Bryant,
yeah.
The little
Yeah.
trick they use to get them all in there. Anyway, that's college football. Let's go to the NFL, where Green Bay is getting ready for the Los Angeles Rams on the frozen tundra. Isn't that what they call it?
The frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Green Bay 6.5-point favorite, over under around 45. I've seen a 45.5. Let's talk a little bit about these Rams. Had a good win over the Seahawks, I guess.
Yeah, no, that was very impressive. I wrote this. Okay, so Aaron Donald, we agree. Aaron Donald's the best defensive player in football.
Sure.
Aaron,
Even without a rib.
is Jalen Ramsey one of the 5 best defensive players in football too?
Probably.
You'd say he's the best corner.
Yeah.
You would say Jalen Ramsey's the best corner in the NFL.
I mean, if he didn't go to Brentwood Academy Innsworth, yeah, I'd agree with you.
The hell do you care about Brentwood Academy?
I don't like them.
I played against them, and my high school team played against them all the time too.
Yeah, you played against them. They were our rivals. So
Oh, okay. Where did you go?
NBA.
There
This
must
isn't about me. It's about how good Jalen.
Oh, I hate
Ramsey is.
NBA too. Y'all beat us in the state championship game. Anyway, Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey has to be. He's the best corner in the league. Is he a top 5 defensive player in the league?
Absolutely top 5.
Okay, so you got 2 of the top 5 defensive players in the league. This, to me, is the most interesting matchup of the weekend, just because of what else Aaron Rodgers has around him, which ain't that much. Is Devontae Adams and Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Like, because you've seen, that was now the 3rd time this season that Jalen Ramsey has basically, I mean, I know DK Metcalf ended up with 2 touchdowns, but if you really watch DK Metcalf during that game, Jalen Ramsey pretty much had his way.
Yeah.
So that was like the 3rd time that Jalen Ramsey's had his way with DK Metcalf. So I think the Ramsey and Adams matchup is the best matchup of the weekend.
Well, I know you're a big Seattle fan, Roser.
That was the greatest game of the weekend. I've never been happier to lose a bet in my life.
Let's hear from Jared Goff talking about the win over the Seahawks.
I'm very proud of our team. It's an exciting game. It's an exciting day. Anytime you get a playoff win, anytime you get to come to Seattle and beat these guys in the playoffs. I mean, I think about 2 weeks ago, I'm sitting right here in this chair knowing I have a broken thumb lying to you guys. And all week we were told how good they are and how we snuck into the playoffs and come into their home place. And 2 weeks ago, you saw them smoking cigars and getting all excited about beating us and winning the division. And we're able to come up here and beat them in their own place. And it feels good. Coming back here and winning this game in a big way is meaningful.
So they got the win. Now they get to play Green Bay, who has been kind of rolling this season. Rob, take us through some of the stats, some of the trends, some of the stuff you've seen about this matchup.
Well, the Rams are 0-4 against the spread after they have 150 or more rushing yards in the previous game. How about that? Also, the 5 after they allow less than 150 passing yards. Those have all gone under. Green Bay's been great against the number. Rams have kind of been up and down against the number this year. Green Bay's been great. 8-4 against the spread against NFC teams. 4-0 against the spread against winning teams. 7-2 against the spread. Their last 9 in the month of January. Their last 4, they're 4-2 against the number. Head-to-head between these two teams, Green Bay covered the last 6 meetings. They won 5 of the 6. They've covered the last 6. The favorite in this game, in this matchup, has covered 9 of the last 10 times that these two teams have met. And 5 of the last 6 between these two teams that has been played at Lambeau Field have gone under. So trends really pointing towards Green Bay and the under. I like Green Bay in this game only because the Rams, boy, their defense so impressive last week, so impressive. I just don't know what they can get from their offense. I think Green Bay at least will be able to get a little bit from their offense. I don't know what the Rams can get from their offense because I don't know week in and week out what to expect from Jared Goff.
Yeah, and well, look, Aaron Rodgers, it wasn't even a year ago we were sitting here talking the Packers used their first-round pick on a quarterback.
Yeah.
And we actually talked about it on the show. We were like, this might be a little bit of a kick in the pants to Rodgers. He might come out to prove something. And he's looked like he's been proving something all season long. Let's hear from Aaron Rodgers talking about enjoying the ride this year.
I feel like I have been trying to cherish every moment a little bit more. Different perspectives maybe with this season, with a lot of things that happened, in the off season and in my own personal growth. Just trying to live a little more positively and with a little more gratitude every single day. And, thankful to be in this opportunity, to be one of the Final Four teams in the NFC and to have a team that has the opportunity to go the distance, type of talent and chemistry that you're always looking for building during the season.
Is he supposed to answer that in the form of a question? He's hosting Jeopardy, right?
Rob, I'm kind of with Rob on. I know we'll get to the picks later, and I kind of went the opposite way, but I do. I do love the under in this game, and it is because the Rams defense. It really is that Ramsey and Adams matchup. If Ramsey can slow Adams down, that is going to help so much. And then if Aaron Donald can be a one-man wrecking crew, and they don't have their left tackle, the Bakhtari guy, and so Aaron Donald can be a one-man wrecking crew. And then, but the other thing is Sean McVay obviously came from Washington under Kyle Shanahan when he was there. If you're McVay, you look at how you ran the ball last week. Goff clearly is still messed up. He can barely throw the ball at all last week. If you're the Rams, I guarantee you McVay is studying what San Francisco did to Green Bay last year in the NFC Championship and how they ran all over them, and that's kind of what you're going to have to do. Can it only be Cam Akers this weekend, or will you mix in some Darrell Henderson, some Malcolm Brown? And I think they're going to have to run the ball a ton.
I just worry Jared Goff wasn't supposed to play last week. This John Wolford, whoever that is, got hurt right at the beginning of the game. Goff has to play. And the announcer said, we talked to Jared Goff this week. He can throw the ball pretty well about 75% of the time. They're like, every once in a while the ball just kind of comes out of there at a weird angle, which if you're a quarterback, it's not the ideal situation to be dealing with.
Yeah.
We're assuming he completed 9 passes last week, and they got the win.
With a broken thumb, that's pretty impressive. You know?
Yeah. I just don't know if they're going to have enough offensively to put up enough points to win this game.
Yeah, that's why their defense is going to have to be dominant again. It's going to have to be as dominant as it was against Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. Jalen Ramsey's going to have to shut down Davante Adams, which nobody has been able to do so far this season. He has been the best receiver in the league. Aaron Rodgers, we talked about the comeback. Rodgers is going to win MVP. He's the heavy favorite to win the award. Ramsey has to be. This is why it's my favorite matchup of the weekend. If Davante Adams, if Ramsey can slow him down and Aaron Donald can wreak havoc, that's going to give the Rams the best chance they have they're going to have to even stay in the game, because if Ramsey can't slow down Adams at all, this is a wrap, and Green Bay is going to run away with this.
For what it's worth, also Green Bay, 4 of their last 5 opponents held them to 16 points or less, kind of trending the right way defensively. We'll see if it keeps up this week. One more before we go to the break. Chiefs and the Browns. How about that game last week? The Cleveland Browns, everyone counted them out. They came in and looked pretty good. The over-under for this game is 57.5. KC's favored by 10. Rob, you got any stats, trends we should be looking at for this matchup?
Chiefs have been terrible against. We're 0-7-1 against the spread in their last 8 games. Haven't covered one of the state. 0-4 against the spread their last 4 at home. 0-7 against the spread their last 7 on grass. Also, 4 of their last 6 against the AFC North have gone over, and their last 4 games in January have over as well. Browns have been pretty good against the number. Kansas City's been dreadful against the number. But the thing that I think about in this game is Kansas City, and we talked about it on the show, probably about week 10, maybe 11, it looked like Kansas City was just waiting for the playoffs to start.
Yeah.
And it feels to me that they'll be able to flip the switch this week because we saw it early in the season, and I think we're going to see it now in the postseason. They're the most dominant team in the NFL.
Yeah. And, the last 5 games, the Chiefs beat the Broncos by 6, the Dolphins by 6, the Saints by 3, the Falcons by 3, and then they lost to the Chargers that last game of the season when I think Mahomes didn't even play. So, I feel like Rob's correct there. They can flip the switch. The Browns, meanwhile, came into that game last week against the Steelers, and everyone thought, oh, they're done. They're missing their coach. They're missing the offensive line coach. They're missing linemen, and they put up 48 points and won 48-37. And Baker Mayfield says that they believe.
We believe in the people in this room no matter what's going on. As soon as the COVID news came out that we were missing some key guys, obviously starting with our head coach, we knew that everybody was counting us out, and we knew what mentality we were going to have, and it's just to cut it loose and go out there and give it everything we had. But there was no added pressure, there was no extra anything. It was just for us to go out and do our job because no one believed in us besides us. The best thing about it was, the mentality of everybody saying, hey, we didn't just want to win this game. And like I said last week, it's the stepping stone to where we eventually want to go. And for a lot of guys, it's a huge win. My first playoff win for starters, but nobody here is satisfied yet.
The Browns believe. Baker believes. Roser, do you believe?
I don't know if they could beat Kansas City. That was impressive over Pittsburgh, though. Pittsburgh just didn't come to play.
Yeah,
I mean, they did not show up at all. From the first play of the game, the snap, it's like, anybody from Pittsburgh want to jump on that ball?
Yeah.
And they're just kind of all standing around on it. And then even when he gets to the end zone, it's like, anybody just want to kick it out of the back of the end zone, just take the safety and not give up a touchdown? And it was 28-0 before you knew it. It got Randy Finkner laid off, former University of Memphis OC. It got him laid off from his job or contract not renewed. No, that was very impressive from the Browns. They and good for Cleveland.
Yeah,
good for that city, man.
First playoff win in 26 years.
Yeah, they deserve that one. Good for the Cleveland Browns.
They could have scored more than 48 points.
Oh yeah,
that last 6 minutes, 8 minutes, they were just kind of running the ball, using clock, trying to get to the next week without having more injuries.
No. Not good for Cleveland. Screw Cleveland. Cleveland sucks.
What is your deal with Cleveland?
It sucks.
Even Hasseltine has come around on Cleveland. I asked Hasseltine about it last week. I said, hey, man, well, the good thing with the COVID and all this stuff is you don't have to travel to Cleveland. And he was like, Cleveland's not too bad anymore.
Yeah, I kind of like Cleveland.
Yeah, because they have a casino. That's why.
Now, that is what he... that is what he said. He said the hotel is connected to a casino. So.
They also have a great Vietnamese restaurant right downtown, the Pho Thing Cafe. Shout out to Cleveland. I spent a lot of time there covering the NBA Finals.
Obviously, with LeBron. During the LeBron years.
So, But I guess Rob's anti-Cleveland. But we'll get to more of that later. Let's take a break right now. We'll be back in a minute with more odds, news, notes, ends, all that stuff. You're watching The Odds Couple.
And we welcome to the show Kyle Anderson, who I believe you are the elder statesman now. Are you the oldest dude in the gym?
Somebody called me one of the rookies called me the OG in the locker room.
The Chris Vernon Show, live daily on GrindCityMedia.com, Grind City Media on YouTube, and the official Grizzlies mobile app. Subscribe and download daily episodes at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SoundCloud.
The Grizzlies debuted their City Edition uniforms, and they are the coolest City Edition uniforms.
Look at this beautiful black and gold.
Show me the glasses.
It's all the way right on the seam.
That's dope.
But that's how you know the
sick.
detailing of it. That's pretty dope.
Oh, my nails are so gross.
Rise and Grind with Jessica and Megan. Live daily at 8 a.m. on GrindCityMedia.com.
What's up, Grizzlies fans? I'm Megan Triplett, and I have some exciting news to share. We have a new app. That's right. It's a 3-in-1 experience that you don't want to miss out on. Check this out. The app will keep you up to date on all of the Grizzlies stats and latest news. If you're looking to see what events are going on at FedEx Forum, that can all be found on the app as well. Plus, if you want to see more of me and the rest of the Grind City Media team, like Chris Vernon, Lang Whitaker, and Mike Wallace, there's a section for all that. It is 365 days of content to keep you in touch with all things Grizzlies, FedEx Forum, and GCM. And did I mention you can also purchase and manage tickets on the app? The app does it all. Download it now.
Welcome back to GrindCityMedia.com, live from FedEx Forum and the American Home Shield Studio. Now, here's more of the Odds Couple, Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Odds Couple. And like we always do at this time, we're going to go talk to our friend Lance Taylor in Birmingham from WJOX, the host of the Round Table, Lance'sLock.com, all that stuff. Lance, how are you, sir?
Lang, I'm good, man. We are obviously finally done with college football, which kind of sucks, but at least we've got what should be 4 entertaining games in the NFL this weekend. So we got 3 more weekends of football.
Lance, I have already said that the most interesting matchup I'm looking forward to this weekend, that I think could spell the outcome of a game if a team is going to have a chance, that is your LA Rams, and I think it's Jalen Ramsey against Davante Adams.
Yeah, Roser, I don't disagree. I mean, Jalen Ramsey is the best lockdown quarterback in the NFL. And, I'll sit there on a Sunday and I won't even hear his name called sometimes. And that's because guys don't go his direction now, as surgical as Aaron Rodgers has been. And really, when you look at that only perimeter weapon that Green Bay possesses in Davante, they're going to have to go after Jalen at times, unless Aaron Jones is just a major factor. So, the only unfortunate thing, I think the Rams, if everything breaks right, if Cam Akers is playing like Cam Akers played the last quarter of the season, he looks finally healthy. The offensive line with Whitworth coming back, they look to be pretty dominant. If he can go 130-plus and the Rams can win the turnover battle, I think they've got a shot. I think if they played this game 10 times, I think the Rams will win 2 or 3 times. But, like everyone, I just don't like the quarterback position. And even before the thumb injury, you just can't trust Jared Goff. I know he got him to a Super Bowl in 2018. A lot of that was Todd Gurley. A lot of that was Sean McVay fresh on the scene and, his ability to call a game around Jared Goff. And Jared Goff's just lost his confidence. And, it's going to be 24, 25 degrees. And he's had 2 starts in below freezing weather before, and he was awful. 0 touchdowns, 5 picks. So I don't like where we are with the quarterback position, but if Akers has a big game and, you can turn Rodgers over once, maybe twice somehow, I think the Rams got a good shot.
We were talking right before the break, Lance, about the Browns. Baker Mayfield says they believe. They almost scored 50 points last week on the Steelers, and they're rolling, and now they get the Chiefs. How are you feeling? Do you believe in the Browns?
I don't. I do think Baker Mayfield, I thought this was going to be something that kind of flickered out, but Baker Mayfield's come on, man, and he looks like, obviously not an elite quarterback, but he looks like one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, and it helps when you've got that run game, when you've got Chubb and you've got Kareem Hunt. So I do believe they've got a lot of confidence. You go back last week, and I had the Browns plus the 5.5 on Sunday night. You knew after that first snap from Pouncey that went over the head of Roethlisberger, they scored in the first 14 seconds. You felt like you were in a pretty good spot. Then obviously it was an avalanche after that, but the Chiefs are well rested. The Chiefs seem to be bored this year for whatever reason, and I would assume with the postseason starting and being off a couple of weeks, that they're going to be really focused in this game. And this is a massive number. You just don't see double-digit favorites in divisional rounds. So I think, based on the fact that the Browns can run the football, I think they'll hang with them for a little bit, but ultimately the Chiefs are going to pull away.
In Buffalo and Baltimore, is it wrong team favored?
Roser, it's an interesting question because I said going into the playoffs, I thought the best all-around team was Buffalo. And then, Phillip Rivers and the Colts and utilizing those tight ends, they went up and down the field, 450-plus yards and didn't turn the football over, but Buffalo still found a way to win. I think that will refocus the Bills. Baltimore's defense, the way they're playing right now, scares me to death. But Lamar just got that first postseason win. And, going to Orchid Park to win another back-to-back game, I don't know if they can. The number is so skinny sitting at 2.5 right now. It makes me think that Baltimore's probably the right way. But I'm going to be stubborn. I said Buffalo before. Josh Allen's been good all year. You just wonder if he's going to have one of these clunker postseason games, but I'm going to play Buffalo here.
Lance, we know you got to run, but after we finish the show, I'm going to lanceslock.com. Tell me, what am I going to get when I go to lanceslock.com?
Well, I appreciate that. As we record this, coming off a 2-1 last night, we give you a free pick every single day. We've got every sport. It's only $90 per month. It's $3 a day. Simple math there. Everything is up. We're very transparent. There's good days. There's some bad days, more good days, though. But, again, $90 for every play side. So college hoops, the NBA, the NFL playoffs, Major League Baseball's really right around the corner. When you think about it, it's all available, lanceslock.com. And, again, you get a free play every single day.
Thank you, Lance. Thanks for joining us this weekend. Look forward to talking to you again next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys. See y'all.
You know, one of the NFL games last week, I don't know if you guys caught this, the Bears-Saints game was also on Nickelodeon.
Yes. Yeah, and CJ, who's still
apparently very fired up about
9 years old over there.
I'm 12. My wife says I'm 12. Thank you very much. Put some respect on my age.
Ninja Turtles sweatshirt, Ninja Turtles mask.
So they had
Looney Tunes socks, baby.
I dig it.
They had a lot of like stuff aimed at kids on the broadcast. They had, the first down line was made out of slime.
Yeah.
When you scored a touchdown, slime shot into the end zone, and Sean Payton actually got slime.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, I don't know if you guys heard, the Saints game this week is going to be on the History Channel because it's Breeze against Tom Brady.
Oh, you seen the graphic?
Yes, those two guys. This is unbelievable. They played each other in the 90s. They played against each other in 1999. Purdue played against Michigan. They both played in the game. So these guys have been playing for over 2 decades now, and now we get it in the NFL. Saints are favored by 3 right now. Over-unders at 52. How do you guys? Rob? You got any numbers for this? How are you feeling about this?
Well, I think the last time we saw the Saints play, the Buccaneers, we saw a really good defense make Tampa Bay look pretty foolish.
Yeah.
Head-to-head, New Orleans has covered 4 of the last 5 at the Superdome. They're 5-0 against the spread. Their last 5 meetings overall. The favorite is 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 meetings, and 5 of the last 7 have gone over. I think we've seen Tampa's offense look pedestrian when they've faced better defenses around the league, and New Orleans certainly has shown it to them twice. So I don't know. I think it's going to be really difficult, but it's like betting against Alabama, betting against Brady now. I mean, it used to be the pay. Now I expect there could be some magic, but that's not the way I'm going to look this week, at least.
Yeah, I mean, look, Drew Brees talked this week about what it's like to face Tom Brady. Let's hear what Drew Brees had to say.
Don't take it for granted. Very appreciative and of the opportunity. And listen, the minute that he signed with the Bucs and came in the division, you felt like that was going to be a team to contend with. That was going to be a team that had playoff aspirations and beyond, just like us. So I guess it was inevitable.
For me, this is hard. This is like the lesser of 2 evils because I hate the Saints and I hate Tom Brady. They're playing against each other this week. For what it's worth, I was just looking over some numbers today. New Orleans 8-1-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. They've been doing a pretty good job of covering these games. Even that was without Breeze for a little bit of that time. So, and Brady, it felt like the Bucs early in the season kind of weren't all there, and now they've sort of found their footing and are kind of rolling along. Tom Brady talked a little bit about what it's like to win ugly.
Could win 100-0, and it's going to be the same result in the end. So, you'd love to play great every game. I think it's good to win and advance. And if we don't play well next week, we're not gonna be happy. So glad we won. Glad we got another week of work, and we're gonna go in there and try to do a much better job this week. And we're gonna have to go play great football.
Roser, do you think they'll do a better job this week? They kind of coasted over Washington 31-23 last week.
I mean, they can't do. You mean like is it going to be better than the last time we saw them play the Saints?
Yes.
It's going to be like I don't know if it could be worse. So I mean, I think they will do a little bit better than that.
Also, that last game, it felt like they kind of just packed it in, right? Like they got behind and they were like, "Forget it, let's wait till next week."
That's also true. This Saints team, though. To me, I've thought all season like this Saints team can win the Super Bowl, and it's because of their defense and how good their defense can be. And when their defense is on and they're fired up, ready to play, they look like they have the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then they added Quan Alexander at the trade deadline from San Francisco, and he's been really good. they've just got a lot of talent there, and what they did with the Bears last weekend, and that's a Bears offense who had been scoring points against everybody the last 5 weeks of the season. They've been scoring a ton of points, and Wims dropped the one. He had the one go right through his hands. That was how do you drop that catch? But other than that Bears defense was lights out. Now the Tampa Bay offense is better. Chris Godwin better not drop the passes he dropped last week.
Yeah.
That didn't kill you against the football team. That will kill you against the Saints. I actually kind of think New Orleans is going to roll again. Yeah.
I kind of, we'll get to our picks later.
Yeah.
But we're going to take a break now. But before we go there, I just want to say congratulations to Saints. I believe he was the assistant GM, Terry Fontenot. Reports today say he's going to go to the Atlanta Falcons to become the new GM. He had been with the Saints 15 years, and look, he's been trying to get out of that Saints organization for 15 years. Congratulations. He finally got to a class franchise like the Atlanta Falcons.
I heard he's coming to I heard he's going to the Falcons to sabotage the entire organization.
It's a little late for that. So. We're going to take a break now. We'll be back. We'll talk about Lamar Jackson a little bit, and then we're also going to give you our picks for next week. We'll be right back in just a minute.
Do you know how to make a reindeer sound?
What is that?
What kind of sounds do reindeers make?
It's not like a horse.
No.
It's more like a deer.
The only thing I can think of is deer. If they're getting attacked by a lion or something. Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
I watch all these animal videos.
So what would a reindeer getting attacked by a lion sound like?
It'd be like,
It sounds like an old alarm clock. The Chris Vernon Show, live weekdays at noon on grindcitymedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
In everything we do, defensive activity, offensive execution, play together, have an edge about us. Just play with an edge. Play with an edge and play together.
Morant blocked for Jaron. Blocked by James. Dylan Brooks with authority. Tyus Jones to Brandon Clark. A turn and gun. He got it. Jones for three. Jones blocked by Jaron.
Yeah, stay together, Blue. Stay together. Way to roll me, kid. Let's leave it out there.
Ja Morant with elevation.
The Grizzlies debuted their City Edition uniforms, and they are the coolest City Edition uniforms.
Look at this beautiful black and gold.
Show me the glasses.
It's all the way right on the seam.
That's dope.
But that's how you
that's
know
pretty sick.
the detailing of it. That's pretty dope.
Oh, my nails are so gross.
Rise and Grind with Jessica and Megan. Live daily at 8 a.m. on grindcitymedia.com.
Once a week, get your basketball fix with Talkin' Grizz featuring me, Kelsey Wright Johnson, and media from around the NBA as we discuss draft topics, prospects, and more. Connect with Grind City Media on all their social channels, subscribe to Grind City Media YouTube, and follow Grind City Media on Twitter and Instagram to stay up to date with all things Grizzlies.
Welcome back to the Odds Couple on grindcitymedia.com. Live from FedEx Forum and the American Home Shield Studio. Here's the Odds Couple, Rob Fisher and Lang Whitaker.
Welcome back. We've been talking through the NFL Final Four coming up this weekend. There's one matchup we really haven't gone into in depth. We talked about it with Lance a little bit. Buffalo visits Baltimore this week after getting out of the first round last week. The Bills are favored by 2.5, over-unders at 50. And Josh Allen talked a little bit about Buffalo winning last week.
Super excited for the fan base here, and I don't think guys really understand the meaning and the impact of winning a playoff game for this franchise. But at the same time, I think we're not in tune to that because we want to win more. One's not good enough for us, and we got to go find out a good way to put our best foot forward this week and try to execute next week.
The Bills were the one team last week that all four of us wanted to pick. We all felt confident in the Bills, and then they went out and did not cover.
Well, I believe if we ran back the tape, I did say I said that makes me feel really bad that we all have the
agreed?
Bills.
Yeah.
Yes, I was like that does not bode well for us.
Yeah, and the Colts they should have scored more points.
Well, the Colts should have won that game.
Yeah, definitely. The Bills did not play great, and the Bills have been one of the hottest teams coming into that series. Rob, with the Bills going up against the Ravens this week, what kind of trends and numbers are you looking at?
Well, the Ravens might be the hottest team trends-wise in the league that's left at this point. Baltimore has covered their last 7 games. They've covered their last 5 against the AFC. They've covered their last 5 as an They're 13-2 straight up their last 15 road games. As far as Buffalo is concerned, they've won straight. They've won 6 straight at home. 5-12 against the spread, 17 games in the month of January. And head-to-head, Baltimore is 6-3 against the number in the last 9 meetings. 7 of the last 9 meetings have gone under, and 4 of the last 5 at Buffalo have gone under. The trends really point towards Baltimore and also the under, but barely Baltimore. I mean, you know how good I am at projecting scores.
Oh, we know. We definitely know how good you are.
Okay, I was just waiting for a response. I got Buffalo winning 23.
You had them winning what? I'm sorry, you cut out for a second.
I got Buffalo winning 23, which would mean Baltimore covers, but Buffalo gets the win.
Well,
this is the one I'm intrigued about the most. I know you said that Rams.
Yeah.
To me, this is the one that intrigues me. I think Buffalo didn't look great last week. They got the win, but I think last week was a good learning experience for the Buffalo Bills, and I think they're a lot better this week. Baltimore's just been playing super football. So
No. Don't put words in my mouth. I did not say the most interesting game of the week is Rams-Packers. I just said the most interesting one-on-one matchup is Ramsey and Devontae Adams. That could tell you how that game is going to go.
I'm pretty sure you said that was the most interesting matchup.
No, I said that's the most interesting matchup. Jalen Ramsey against Devontae Adams.
Yeah, teams.
Yeah, I did not mean teams. I meant Adams against Ramsey. No, the game I am most looking forward to watching is this Buffalo and Baltimore game. John Harbaugh has won more road playoff games than any coach in NFL history.
Well, let's hear him talk about that win against the Titans last week.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's the number 1 best win. All right? Now, in perspective, it's going to be a top 5 for sure, but right now, for me, this is the best win ever. And not just because of what was at stake, but because of the guys and what it meant to our team and to our guys, you know? What it meant to all of our guys. This may be the best win I've ever been associated with.
Wow. I thought for the Ravens, that win, you felt like they kind of found some things on offense. They kind of went back to, instead of trying to prove Lamar can pass the ball out of the pocket and everything, they let him run. They kind of got loose a little bit on offense. And defensively, they did a pretty good job against Derrick Henry.
Oh, they did an amazing job against Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry didn't get he barely got any yards after contact, so when they hit him, they tackled him. That Baltimore defense, and that was the thing, the last time they played the Titans, they didn't have 3 starters on that defense, and they had those guys back. Their defense is real. Josh Allen could be in trouble this weekend. I mean, the Buffalo team, they had, as hot as they've been, John Harbaugh's proven it to me. Like, he's proven, like, he can get his teams up, and he has his teams ready to go in the playoffs. It's not going to shock me at all Baltimore pulls this upset outright.
I also just wonder if the Colts kind of showed off the blueprint. They're like, this is how you play against this Bills team, and at least keep them within striking distance, which is what Baltimore did against the Titans. They just kind of kept it close until the end, and Lamar closed it.
Well, you can run the ball against Buffalo. That's the thing. Like, Indianapolis ran for like 160-something yards against Buffalo. Baltimore's the best running team in the league.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not close. Baltimore has had almost, in their last 6 games, almost 1,600 rushing yards.
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. Like, they're incredibly good at running the ball.
Well, I agree with you guys. I think this is going to be the most interesting game there is to watch this week. And now it's time to go to our picks. And let's start off, as we always do, with Fish's 5. Rob, can you take us through your picks this week?
Yeah, I like the Packers minus the 7 against the Rams. I think the Rams offense to win the Super Bowl. I just don't know if the offense can come along enough this week against the Packers. And, you know, there's so many ifs on Aaron Donald, his rib, and Jared Goff, his thumb, and, you know, the running game. So there are a lot of ifs for me when it comes to the Rams. So I'm going with the Packers. I like the Bills. Overall, minus the 2. Like I said, I think that's going to be a really close game. I'll give the Bills the margin, being at home in the snow where Lamar Jackson's never played before. I like the Chiefs to steamroll. I think they flipped the switch. They show that they're the dominant team in the NFL. They cover the 10 against the Browns. I'll take the Saints against the Bucks. I'm with Roser. I think this is what you said, Roser. I'm with Roser. I think I think it looks a lot like the last matchup between these two teams. And I love the under for the Rams and Green Bay. It's my favorite of the over-unders for the weekend. I'm going with the under 47.5.
Well, I'll go next, and I also was going to go with the Packers over the Rams. I just feel like the Rams, this isn't Trent Dilfer, and an offense is just good enough to carry the defense. I just don't know if offensively they've got enough to, even as well as their defense has played this year. I think the Ravens are going to win this game straight up against the Bills. I know they're on the road. I know Lamar hasn't done this, blah, 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 blah. But I just think the Ravens turned a corner last week, and I think they're going to get the win. I don't think the Browns beat the Chiefs, but I think they cover. And Saints, Bucks, I think the Saints defensively is the best defense in football to me, and they're going to win. And I'm going to go with the over on that Cleveland KC. KC's defense has not done much for me this year, and I've seen teams put up 30 against them regularly. The Browns almost scored 50 last week. Rob's not a big Cleveland guy, but I think Cleveland's going to score enough points to push the over on that one. Roser, take us through your picks.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Rams plus the 7. I mean, I do not love it. I don't love it, but I'm just going to take the dog. I'm just going to take the underdog because they're catching a touchdown and it's a playoff game. I'm going to go with Baltimore over Buffalo. I think it's wrong team favorite. I think Baltimore wins the game outright, and I think they might win it by a touchdown. I like Cleveland to cover just because it's 10. I'm going to take Cleveland to cover the 10. Not going to shock me at all if Patrick Mahomes shows up and Kansas City wins this game something like 38-17. That's not going to shock me at all if that happens. And then, I think the Saints. I think the Saints are the better team. I think their defense is really going to get after Brady, and he's going to look 43 years old in this one. And then I'm with you, Rob. My favorite of the totals this weekend. I love that under 47.5 in the Rams and the Packers.
CJ,
I'll go ahead and take the Rams as well. Roser, I love the matchup. Aaron Donald, Aaron Rodgers, Ramsey, Adams. I love those matchups, and I think the Rams defensively can do enough to make that game ugly and keep it close. So give me the Rams there. They'll lose, but I like them to cover the touchdown. I'm going to take Baltimore in this one. I think the Bills win a 1-point game. I'm not off of the bandwagon. I'm still a believer, Bill. They're taking me all the way to the Super Bowl. I can't wait to see it. Or all the way to the Chiefs next week. And
we'll see about that.
I'll take the Browns just because 10 in the playoffs is way too high a number. And Lance brought it up as well. They can run the football enough to keep that game within striking distance. And I'll take the Bucks because I want Tom Brady to get to the Super Bowl and win again. So, and then I'll take the over in the Kansas City-Cleveland game.
Cheering for Tom Brady?
He's Michigan quarterback. Why wouldn't I cheer for Tom Brady?
Oh, yeah.
It's the only good thing we got going for us right now. I have to cheer for Tom Brady.
All right.
Braylon Edwards isn't walking through that door anymore.
Braylon Edwards, although Mike Hart is going back to Michigan. So I'm excited about that running backs coach. And Michigan's men's basketball team and women's basketball team balling out of control. Hockey's in the top 10 as well. Wrestling, last time I checked, was number 2 in the nation. Softball season around the corner.
And congrats, you guys locked up Jim Harbaugh long term. So
stop it. Why would you bring? I'm trying to be happy over here. Why would you bring that up? I'm going all the way to hockey leg for my joy right now. You're bringing up Harbaugh.
Had to throw it over to Champions Corner to CJ and get that in. Hey, that's our show for this week. We've had a good time talking about football. We get a Final Four. The Final Four is here in the NFL, so it should be a great weekend of games to watch. Rob, hope you're enjoying Fight Island over there.
I am, man. I'm enjoying it. Enjoy the football this week. Good luck with these bets. And Roser, enjoy that Green Bay Rams game.
The guy picked the Packers, and he's wearing a Rams jersey, by the way.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Look, we've had a great time this week, Rob. Appreciate you Skyping in from Fight Island. And for Rob Fisher, for CJ, for Roser, I'm Lane Whitaker. This is The Odds Couple. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to The Odds Couple from the American Home Shield Studio on GrindCityMedia.com. Tune in next week for more football handicapping with Rob Fisher and Lane Whitaker.